Well, Star made an apology.
And it was bullshit like I expected.
Huh?
Now, I wasn't the only one who saw this.
So let's let the witnesses speak.
This is probably like the worst apology video I've ever seen in my entire life, because she kept using the fact that she's Christian to suffice for all of her actions, and at the end of the day, you still did it. That's why you're making the apology video in the first place. So I don't know what the correlation is there. And also the fact that you kept derailing and brushing your hair and stuff like that, it's gross. Really gross. And the face reveal and all that stuff is just unnecessary. 90% of the video is just you talking about nothing, and the rest of it is just nothing. Absolutely nothing. The whole video is just her talking about nothing.
Okay, my honest opinion about this apology video that Starangel made was absolutely buns. More buns than buns itself. Bro, she didn't apologize to me. She only apologized to Golden and Bagel. But the funny thing is, it wasn't even an apology video. She was talking about unnecessary stuff. She was talking about very unnecessary stuff. She also pulls out the whole paper thing in the apology video, as if she was forced to write her apology video. Be for real, Tanya. Be for real, Starangel. Also another thing. She had said something about her not wanting hackers and stuff to get her face and stuff, but she posted her face in the first place, so that makes no sense.
Not even 5 minutes in and why are you crying? Like, genuinely, why the fuck are you crying? Golden and everybody who you harassed isn't asking for your tears, they're asking for an apology, which, by the way, you managed to mess up so badly. Like, how do you say, I'm sorry for directing the N-word at you, Golden, and then later on proceed to say, oh yeah, the truth is I've never said slurs? What? So you just said, I'm sorry for saying the N-word, then you say, oh, I've never said slurs. How does that work? Like, genuinely, how does that work? And not even that, you go along and say, oh, I thought N-word was just a made-up joke. Right, so slavery, people who died from slavery, the N-word term used to describe scum, like literal shitbags, is a made-up joke? Like, oh, I didn't know literal children had to go work in mines. They had to get beaten multiple times just because of their color. I didn't know all that was a made-up joke. Like, wow, that's so interesting. Then not only that, you go off and you stray off topic. Talk about everything in your life. Literally anything but an actual apology. Golden and everybody watching does not want to know your life story. We don't need to know your life story. We don't need to know why you did all these actions. We do not care. What Golden wants is an apology, which you didn't even give. Like, the only time I saw that you gave an apology was at the very beginning of the video, and after that, you started talking about everything, saying, I'm sorry for this, I'm sorry for that. Okay, when did all that come into play? He just wanted a genuine apology, saying, I'm sorry for saying the N-word. He wanted you to, stop. He wanted you to stop, think about it, and say, hey, this is not right, I should stop saying slurs. Then you want to go on and post a paragraph talking about, oh, I'm sorry that I lied, I'm not gonna lie anymore, I'm not gonna victimize myself again, and a lot of other shit. But again? Anymore? Huh? So you're saying you've lied about God knows what in the past, and you've victimized yourself multiple times before? Is that what you're saying? Like, dude, you're here to try and get people to forgive you. You're just making yourself seem like a bad person even more. Like, dude, and don't even get me started on the religion. Oh yeah, I go to church, I'm Christian. Religion is not an excuse to forgive what you've done.
Okay, so I watched the apology video, and from the first thing I saw, I don't know why she decided to show her face, even though she put like a bunch of disclaimers saying like, don't take a picture, don't like videotape it. She could have just not done that. And then she showed her face, and she's immediately crying. Why are you crying? Like, yeah, you did something like horrible, right? But you're crying for sympathy on something that you did. It's the actions of your consequences, and you're crying over it. Anyway, I don't care if she cries. It wasn't gonna gain my sympathy, and so I continue watching the video. I zone out because it was just she was just blabbing on and on about things that didn't quite matter. and then she pulls out a paper that she's reading from. This is probably the worst apology I've ever seen. You're reading from a piece of paper. It could have at least come from the mind, you know? But you're reading off of a piece of paper, and if you're reading off a piece of paper, you know, you gotta have like emotion to it. You read it off in a monotone, like voice, bro. Like, bro, this is like the worst apology I've ever seen. And bro, as soon as she pulled out that piece of paper, I'm not gonna even lie, I stopped watching the video. I stopped watching the video because like, you're not actually like sorry if you're not saying it from your head. Like, that's stupid, bro. And I watched Goldie's literally video. I watched Goldie's video, right, bro? Literally, what was the end? Because it was like Star literally said, "Oh, Goldie, I'm so done with you. I'm gonna drop you. Like, I don't wanna be friends with you anymore. You're horrible." But look what you did. And then I even saw like a clip of the video of Star's apology that she said she went to church. You go to church. You think because you're religious it's gonna stop your actions of being a horrible person. And matter of fact, those are the people that I hate. Just because they do bad things, it's okay because they're religious. They're Christian because they go to church. Like, that's so dumb. It's like saying like, oh, I ripped somebody's arm off. It's okay. I literally go to church every Sunday. It doesn't change the fact that I'm a murderer. Just like it doesn't change the fact that you're a racist. It literally doesn't change anything. I go to church, okay? That's great. You know what's not great? The fact that you said the N-word twice. Like, that's actually horrible. Besides the apology video, I would like to say what Tanya did not apologize to me for, because what happened has quite early. What happened has been haunting me ever since. I don't know. So I don't like Muslim friends. She added me into this server like I think a year or two ago. And I'm pretty sure it was a year ago. It wasn't 2 years. Yeah, it was a year ago. But anyways, and like I said, I don't like Muslim friends. And that Discord server, she let them talk shit to me. And like, I'm sensitive to criticism. I'm sensitive. So it got me to a point I like quite literally leave, and I rejoin and then I leave. It happened a few times before I left forever. But she let them talk shit to me, and then whenever I would leave, or whenever I would tell her that they did something to me, because Starangels knew I was sensitive. So yeah, I believe I told her too. She made it seem as if it was a joke. Completely, it was not. Because if it was, they would have told me if it was a joke. They would have. I don't know. I think used tone tags. They would have told me or used tone tags. And she would talk to them, but they would joke. But she would joke with them instead of actually talking to them and tell me they were joking. And I would believe Tanya. I would believe Tanya. But everything he said, it was not a joke. She just made it seem like it was a joke. Plus, I don't understand social cues, so it's very hard for me to tell whether or not something's a joke. So that's something I do not forgive Tanya for, and she should apologize to me for it, but she never did. And I have proof that it actually happened. I had talked to her about it because she had added because before I knew about all of this, before I knew about everything with Basil and Golden, everything, she, I was so friends with her, but yeah, she added me to invited me to a Discord server, which that's how I met Golden and Basil, and I had told her, like, should I be scared? I forgot what else she said. But what we talked about what I explained to what I explained is in the photo, is in the screenshots of proof. But what else I told her is that I told her some about if her if her friends were in the Discord server, because I was afraid that they would say shit to me and the same recurring thing would happen again. Like, it would be like I was afraid it would happen again, and then what else I told her is that if her friends were in there or something like that, I would immediately leave the server because I am sensitive to criticism and I hate criticism. But yeah, that's quite literally everything. She did tell me that none of her friends were in the server, that everyone there was nice, which that presumably was true. So I'm happy she didn't lie about that. But she does still owe me an apology. So yeah, that's all I have to say. So